Hi everybody, Sanibonani, welcome to my channel. Igama lami Ntando Mdletshe, and on this channel siyasibuke ama-reality shows ethu ala Mzansi bese sizala sokhuluma ngawo lama shows, senza ama-reviews nama-recaps bese siyaphinda futhi sikhuluma any other issues avukayo uma ngabe lama shows esiwabukele kwi-TV. Siyaphinda-ke futhi sikhulume ngama-celebrities, siphinde sikhulume ngama-YouTubers ethu ala Mzansi Africa. If it's your first time joining us today and you happen to like our content, guys, please make sure you like our content because we want happy people on this channel, okay? Please subscribe below and also press the notification bell so that you can get notifications. There's also a join button for those who want to join as members. There's also a thanks button for those who want to donate to the channel. Okay, so you guys, I want to talk about this story. This story has been out for a while. It's a very disappointing story, and I just didn't do it. There were a few people that did it here on YouTube, but I just didn't have the time to go check because I like to also just go check what the articles say, what the newspapers say about the story, to see ngempela ukuthi silegit ngempela yini. But the person that reminded me of this story today is Patience Vego. Please go check out her channel. I'll try and put her link on my description, you guys, so you can go watch her video that she did talking about the story, which reminded me to actually go check on this story too. Okay, so as we all know, we just finished doing a review to season 3. It's wrapped up. Tell all iphelile now. We know for sure we're gonna be moving on to Mdletshe Happily Ever After, because Mdletshe Happily Ever After is a spin-off Sika Mdletshe. What they do is that they cast people for Mdletshe, and then if they think the story is interesting to look at after, they ask you, then they cast you again for Mdletshe Happily Ever After. And we have gone through 2 seasons of Happily Ever After. We're about to do season 3. So just like we just did season 3 of Mdletshe, now we're going to go through season 3 of Mdletshe Happily Ever After. Guys, I've done a couple of videos where I am questioning how people on Mdletshe are paid, okay? And I understood it's okay, it might not be a lot of money for Mdletshe, because honestly all you do Mdletshe is 1 episode when you are actually asking whoever your wife and then you're gonna do the reunion. So it's not a lot. It's not like if they have 10 episodes, for 10 episodes you're there, you just have one of your own episode and then you go and do the reunion. So I've never thought that they get a lot of money, but obviously I thought they must get some money because that show is very popular. That show makes a lot of money, okay? But then they move on to Happily Ever After. Oh, Happily Ever After, guys, it's just a full-on reality show. Now you're a cast member. They're looking at your life now. Sometimes they even get to see your family members. If you have kids, they even see your kids for some of them. Some of them even add other side chicks during the show. So for that, you guys, I always feel like then they must be getting real money now, because you probably are paid per episode or you are paid a lump sum depending on what the contract says, you guys. But I've always had questions because you would see a person on Mdletshe and then you will see them on Mdletshe Happily Ever After. Guys, whether we want to admit it or not, umuntu osuke kade ethole isambanyana semali, you can see it's okay kunesambanyana, you know. Asitholile yabo uNtando mhlawumbe usedayile mhlawumbe ngizofika sengidayile yabo sengingenazo izimvu nabo uNtando uthola imadlanyana. Noma sengifake izinyo legolide, you know, sengifake nibona ukuthi uNtando okay mhlawumbe namacici maseyigolide yabo leyo nto leyo. Uyabona umuntu uthola imali. But my question has always been, labantu laba, when you look at them, it's like, did they even get the money? You know, the only people last season I felt like ngathi bathola imali, and it just could be ukuthi they realized they're on TV bathenga impahla ezidla baba bahle, was uMamchunu nomyeni wakhe ongenza sibona bayitholile imali for the season. I don't know. Happily Ever After, remember when isebenze Happily Ever After about 2, okay? So I've always just questioned ukuthi iphi imali, number one, iphi imali, because people would look like they don't get imali. And then number two, I was also questioning ukuthi kukhokhelwa bani. Okay, because phela the person that writes to the show originally is a man. Women don't have an intention to be on the show, but they end up on the show. So my question had always been, do they get paid for that original episode, number one, and for the reunion, do they get paid? And then number two, when they do the happily ever after, because even with the men uDulas, I remember at some point etuyaka ekhaya, he also bought a car, but you will feel like with the women you will not see any improvement in their lives at all. You will feel like they're not getting any money at all. Even the little, 3,000, 5,000, whatever, 10,000 something, you will feel like women don't get. So I actually have a video on this channel where I was talking about that, because it looks like even when they pay them, they only pay a man. So what happens to the women, because now they play a part on the show, you guys. So was I disappointed to find out some of these cast members are out here saying that they did not get the money that they were promised? I am not surprised, you guys, because it did look like they were being exploited anyway. Even during the show, during the season 1 of Happily Ever After, season 2 of Happily Ever After, it did feel like they were being exploited. Because if you did Happily Ever After season 1, season 2, we must see the difference. La uhlala khona nawe nje sibone ukuthi okay fine khona imadlanyana oyitholile, So I wasn't surprised, but I was very disappointed with it's actually happening. And let's show, guys, to be honest, I feel like abantu abamnyama, there is that confusion on whether let's show there is a video out there where he actually says it himself, show agiyona yena, he is just a presenter on the show. Kodwa ishow mayidlala, there was a time where I saw, when they do the credits, there is a Thanks Ma production, and I know Thanks Ma, it's his company. So I feel like then he must be part of the production team, maybe, or he is an executive producer, but he is involved in some way. But the confusion is that there is a video where he himself, he is saying, guys, the show is not mine, I am just the presenter. It would be even more disappointing if really the show is his, because then it would mean that he is the one that is not paying the people. He's the one that is exploiting abantu ongabaniki imali. And I don't think ukuthi yena as a presenter, because over and above he is part of the ownership of the show, but he's also a presenter on the show. So I don't think ukuthi yena imali yakhe he hasn't received it njoba epresentile ku show. So for him to be paid, but for these people to not be paid bona as customer, the people that actually make the show, because phela Happily Ever After comes from umnakwethu, it is very disappointing, you guys. What they're saying is that they were promised to be paid 50,000 rand each, because the cast members that are complaining is Ulanga, Nomashelembe kanye Nomasithole. They said they never got the money, guys. I'm not clear honestly ukuthi yiphi imali abakhuluma ngayo, because these people did 2 shows. Remember, these people did umnakwethu and then they moved on to Happily Ever After. Umnakwethu, they did the show fine, they did their episode, they went to the reunion, it was done, so they did that. But on Happily Ever After, remember there was an issue where Umashelembe didn't want to shoot, she did not want to shoot. So I think for me, how I feel about ukukhokeleka kwabo, if it's for umnakwethu, it's a clear cut, they should have been paid because they did the show, they finished. With Happily Ever After, I don't know what the agreement was, because at the end of the day, Umashelembe didn't appear on the show. She didn't appear on the Happily Ever After. So was she supposed to be paid for the season that she never appeared on? I do not know, you guys. I do not know, because remember they even went to her family, her mom and her uncle appeared on the show, but she never appeared, even though she was talked about so much. She never did the show. However, Umasithole kanye naye Ulanga, they did do the season. They even did go to the reunion. I think they were there. Were they there? Yes, they were there. So Umashelembe, I do not think that they would pay her for the Happily Ever After, because she never appeared on the show. But I do understand Umasithole kanye naye Ulanga complaining ukuthi imali azange bazithola. Ulanga uthi wathola out of the 50,000 that he was supposed to get, he only received like 12,000 rand because he wanted to fix the car. No, he did not want to take care of his kids. He has kids, by the way, but he wanted to fix his car. wanted to fix his car, but the rest of the money they never received, you guys. From the two articles, because I read article from the South African and I read the article from Briefly, it is not clear what efforts they have made to try and get the money, if they've been contacted at all by the producers of the show with regards to payment, what the response of the show is in regards to them not being paid this money. But so far they are the only people that have said that they have not been paid. I haven't heard of anybody else. So it makes me wonder, are the producers going to use excuse yokuthi but your storyline didn't work as we planned, because we were planning to have you, Langa, and your two wives, and one of your wives didn't want to shoot the show. So since she didn't want to shoot the show, we really didn't get the story that we were supposed to get. It all depends on what the contract says, you guys, but they still did the episodes that they did. Anyway, you guys, it is disappointing. I don't know, guys. I think that this is an industry where that needs to be looked at, because people are getting exploited a lot. Remember, even Osiacela, we found out at some point that they were being paid 45,000 rands an episode. Between the three of them, Udlamuka, Usiacela, Ntando, all three of them had to share 45,000 rands per episode, which was not a lot. But anyway, you guys, asazi ukuthi lana kuzophela kanjani, and cabanga lana they were going to be paid 50,000 rands each for the season. Imagine, guys, there's so much exploitation. It really is disappointing, guys. We need people that can represent these people when it comes to signing these contracts. I wish that there was a law that says uma uzoqasha umuntu ukuthi enze a show and banganalo ulwazi on how doing the show is, you have to have this type of person present so that they can explain to this person contracts and explain about terms and conditions and all of that, so that when they sign they know what they're getting themselves into. Where contracts they don't have it, because it's like they signed it and then by tata bahamba nayo. Guys, let's be careful with my sign. Even if it's just don't do it, don't I understand, if uqasha ukuthi uzokwenza umsebenzi, understand ukuthi uhola malini, futhi leyo mali uyihola nini. Mayingangenile, who do you contact ukuthi wenze sure ukuthi imali yakho uyayithola, ungasebenzi nje usebenze and wait for, because it's been what a year now, but yadlala that season, and it's only now that we hear ukuthi they haven't been paid. Anyway, you guys, that's all that I wanted to talk about when it comes to this story. Please like the video and share it with your friends, with your family, and even with strangers. Also, tell me below what do you think about this whole issue of the AMA workers not being paid. Asazi Mseleku mhlambe might sell one of the yellow houses and pay these people, because at the end of the day fanele bahola. Anyway, thank you so much. Ntando kakhulu.